Would you snitch on your best friend if you saw them hurt their kid? I never thought I'd be the one to make that call. My best friend, Emma, had been crashing at my place for a few weeks. She'd been evicted from her apartment after falling behind on rent, and I couldn't just let her and her 2-year-old son, Caleb, end up on the street. We've been friends since high school. Thick as thieves, always there for each other through breakups, job losses, you name it. So when she showed up at my door, bags in hand, and Caleb clinging to her leg, I didn't hesitate. Stay as long as you need, I told her. Big mistake. At first, things were okay. Emma was stressed, sure, but who wouldn't be? Single mom, no job, no place of her own. Caleb was a handful. Like any toddler, always running around, throwing toys, or crying when he didn't get his way. I tried to help out, making meals, watching Caleb when she needed a break. But I started noticing things. That didn't sit right. Emma had a short fuse. She'd snap at Caleb for little stuff, like spilling juice or not napping on time. I'd hear her yell, "Stop it, Caleb," in a tone that made my stomach twist. I brushed it off at first. Parenting's hard, right? I'm not a parent. So what do I know? Then I saw it happen. I was in the living room, folding laundry, when I heard Caleb start crying in the kitchen. He dropped his sippy cup, and it spilled all over the floor. Emma lost it. She screamed at him, "Why can't you just behave?" Before I could even process what was happening, she slapped him across the face. Hard. His little head snapped to the side, and he just froze, stunned, before letting out this heartbreaking wail. I stood there, laundry in my hands, completely dumbfounded. I wanted to say something, but the words got stuck. She scooped him up, still yelling, and stormed off to her room. I tried to talk to her later that night. "Emma, you can't hit him like that," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She rolled her eyes. "You don't get it, James. You're not a parent. Sometimes you have to discipline them." I pushed back, saying there's a difference between a swat on the butt and smacking a toddler in the face. She just shrugged and said, "My mom used to belt me, and I turned out fine." That was her excuse. I let it go, but it gnawed at me. I couldn't unsee Caleb's face, the way he looked so small and scared. Things got worse. A few days later, I came home from work and heard Emma shouting again. I walked into the bedroom she and Caleb were sharing, and I swear my heart stopped. She was furious. Something about Caleb not listening or breaking a toy. I don't even know. She picked him up by his arms, lifted him off the ground, and threw him onto the bed. Not gently, either. It was like she chucked him. He landed hard, his little body bouncing on the mattress, nearly rolling off and hitting the wall. He was screaming, and I could see his neck twist in a way that made me sick to my stomach. He was only 25 months old, barely 2. I thought she might have seriously hurt him. I froze for a second, then yelled, "What the hell, Emma?" She turned to me, face red, and said, "Stay out of it, James. He's my kid." I checked on Caleb, who was crying but seemed okay. No obvious injuries. But I couldn't shake the image of how he landed. That was it. That was the final straw. I couldn't let this slide, not under my roof. I didn't know what to do, so I called my dad's wife, Susan. She's a preschool teacher, been working with kids for years, so I figured she'd know how to handle this. I told her everything. The slap, the yelling, the way Emma threw Caleb. Susan got quiet, then said, "James, I'm legally obligated to report this. Educators have to report suspected abuse or neglect. But it'd be better if you called, since you saw it firsthand." She gave me the number for Child Protective Services and told me to be honest about what I saw. I hesitated. Emma was my best friend. We'd been through so much together. But then I thought about Caleb, how small and helpless he was, and I knew I couldn't just sit on this. I made the call that night. My hands were shaking as I dialed. I told them exactly what I saw, no sugarcoating. They asked if there had been other incidents, and I mentioned the slap. I didn't know at the time, but this wasn't Emma's first run-in with CPS. Turns out, Caleb's dad, Ryan, had reported her before for giving Caleb whiskey to help him sleep when his teeth were coming in. Whiskey, to a baby. She'd gotten a warning for that.